One morning to you out there. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review this wonderful Saturday morning. And of course, my name is GBOLABO. We'll be looking at some of the national dailies here in Nigeria. I have the Punch newspaper, Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Nation newspaper, and a host of other papers up for review this morning. We'll start off with the Punch newspaper. ADC targets 5 governors as Sanwo-Olu knock coalition leaders. Senate gives condition for Natasha's return after court judgment. COVID-19 fraud, U.S. court jails pastor as Osun monarch forfeits property. And more here on the Punch newspaper front page. Be careful of global deals, Falana warns African leaders. LASU dismisses 2 lecturers over financial misconduct. Fuel station manager, 3 others arrested for robbery. And more headlines here out of the Punch newspaper, a bit of the Metro Plus page. Anambra man gets life sentence for robbery. And police nab 6 over Abuja market killing. NSCDC arrests 16 suspected vandals and legal miners. Delta student arrested for stabbing colleague. And more here from the Punch newspaper front page. We have this one. NNPC first E&P achieves all sector safety milestone. Enugu Air begins operations Monday. Climate change erodes 84% of Lagos coastline. That's according to a special report here. More still, even if Seyi Tinubu is appointed INEC chair, APC will lose in 2027. That's according to Dalong. Only Nigerians can stop Tinubu in 2027, says Amaechi. 2027 marks ADC plots Atiku's candidacy. That's according to Kachiku. All of that are some of the headlines you'll find out of the Punch newspaper this morning. All right, we'll also look at the Nation newspaper. Controversy trails membership status of Atiku Obi, El-Rufai orders. ADC Wike tackles Amaechi, Mark Malami orders. Banks resume international transactions and Naira cards as dollar supply rises. All right, more latest news here on The Nation. Your frustration is just beginning. Shatima slams Baba Ahmed. Controversy trails membership status of Atiku Obi, El-Rufai orders. And of course, more here. Constitution review will guarantee just federation, says Akpabio. Banks resume international transactions taken earlier. And more still here on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. Tinubu on March influence. Over 140 political heavyweights join APC without a single election. Don't take new ADC for granted. Rep member Abejide wants APC. And ADC will support coalition politics, not party hijack. State leaders speaking. Then we also have this one, no official position in coalition. That's according to PDP. All of those headlines are making the rounds here on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Also taking a look at the Daily Post here, also a number of also other headlines here too on the Daily Post this morning. We have this one, Rivers, you have spiritual problem. Wike attacks Rotimi Amaechi. Coalition, leave Labour Party immediately. Join Obi in ADC. Aburu urges Governor Oti. And still more on the Daily Post, we have this one. Herdsmen raid Benue community, leave 1 dead, another missing. Tension in Makurdi as armed herdsmen open fire on security operatives. And a bit of sport, ex-Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey charged with rape. More headlines there. We have this one. BET Nigerian Foundation. All right, more headlines here out of the Daily Post. Akpabio, Atiku hails Natasha for challenging suspension. And Niger government moves to curb child malnutrition, trains health workers and SAM. Then we have this one, Adamawa people with disability push for signing of Rights Commission bill. Rivers, Amaechi a liar, he's corrupt, I like money. And that's Wike speaking. CBN Nigerian court affirms NIBSS authority to manage BVN. Some of the headlines here out of the Daily Post this morning. All right, taking a look at the cable, the also a number of headlines to here out of the cable NG this morning. All right, we swipe at the cable. We have a bit coming up. Wike, Tinubu should release NDDC audit report. Amage's wife's company got 4 billion naira monthly. And we have his frustration is just beginning. Presidency berates Dati Baba Ahmed over call for Shetima's sack. Obituary Peter Rufai, electrician who became first Nigerian goalkeeper to play professionally abroad. That's Peter Rufai, electrician who became first Nigerian goalkeeper to play professionally abroad. And extra news, our clean tables if Tinubu desires, says Tanko Al-Makura, an EPC chairmanship position. World Bank appoints Matthew Verghese as Nigeria's country's director. And we have this one, fallen Eagles, Rufai Kechi, members of Nigeria's 1994 AFCON winning squad who have died. UN return to power, Wike tells ADC coalition leaders. And NUPRC, how oil producers resisted crude supply to local refiners. And more here, we have after years of suspension, Nigerian banks resume international transactions on Naira cards. You can serve two masters, Bodejo tackles Atiku PDP members over ADC coalition. All of those headlines are making the rounds here on the cable. And of course, we take the Guardian and have Austin join us for the analysis proper this morning. On the Guardian, we also have a couple of headlines here. And here we have this one that says Tinubu departs St. Lucia for Brazil, all right, to attend BRICS summit. Europe's 2025 most affordable expensive countries for migrants revealed. Nigerian fighting for Russia captured by Ukraine-aligned forces. Africa's music industry can transform public health, says Ugu. And here we also have Miss Luxury Pageantry Initiative expands national reach. More here, that's a bit of lifestyle. And we also have this one, CIPM launches Worry chapter with masterclass on people, purpose, and process. All of that is some of the headlines here, right out of the Guardian. And before we leave the Guardian, I'm not corrupt, I bought my Rolls Royce. That's according to Wike. Supporters welcome Aregbesola back to Lagos after ADC unveiling in FCT. Castina Pbeck joined forces to boost business reforms. All right, we do have Austin standing by ready to do the analysis proper for us this morning. Austin, it's great to have you back. Good morning.
GBOLABO, thank you. Good morning.
All right, I guess we can start off with this vituperation between Wike and some members of ADC that he knows very well as colleagues in terms of politicking here in Nigeria. Now, he wants to make the record quite straight, saying as a matter of fact for him that he's not corrupt, and this has been like an exchange of words between him and the former governor of Rivers State. Both of them are former governors now, but he's saying he's not corrupt and he has a clean slate. So he has a clean record and he cannot be questioned, but he's been questioning others who have been a member of the ADC, and of course that appears to be a major stake here. Austin, what do we say with this Wike's vituperation? Would we say he's leaving national business for political business and interest here? Austin, can you hear me? All right, while we try to get Austin back with us. All right, Austin, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, please, you
yes,
can go.
I'm here with you now.
All right, please, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Wike said he's not corrupt, right?
Exactly, and he's saying that he has a clean slate and challenging Amaechi if he has the same record. And now, of what interest will this serve? Because some people would say he has a national assignment to handle. Why so concerned? He's not going to, I don't know, is he going to be contesting as a presidential candidate come 2027 under the APC. So many people are concerned for him. But this recent vituperation, where do we classify it?
He said he is not corrupt. Well, he said he has a clean slate. I don't know. He had to also explain to us who gave him the clean slate. Because, for example, if you are given a clean bill of, you can't give yourself a clean bill of health, right? In public office, that is what we have always advocated. When you are leaving office, there should be an independent agency of government that want to measure you vis-a-vis when you enter public office and when you are exiting public office, to be able to give you a clean bill of health. That is what is done in some Senate crime. But like I said yesterday, this is era of politicking is gradually coming closer. It's going to really be tough in the days ahead. Don't forget, in this program that 𝐒𝐶𝐃 made a lot of assertion, it was a program for him to be given the right of reply. Because I don't know the reason why anytime 𝐒𝐶𝐃 wants to talk, he must mention Amaechi. And anytime Amaechi wants to talk, he must mention 𝐒𝐶𝐃. What I want these guys to do is to focus on their party, let them build their party, let them show electoral strength when it comes to 2027. Of course, this is not, it is not as if they need to play politics. Of course, 𝐒𝐶𝐃 is handling national assignment now. He's doing very well in FCT, but a lot of people believe that his noise, his comportment is not befitting. That is the type of person 𝐒𝐶𝐃 is. The person that gave him the job is enjoying the way he's doing. But somebody like me feels that there should have been more decorum from that office. If you think you are popular, come 2027, go to your state, work for the party or the candidate of your choice, and let's see how it goes. But the truth of the matter is that these are politicians who have failed Nigerians, including 𝐒𝐶𝐃. If not for the fact that Nigeria is what it is, somebody like 𝐒𝐶𝐃 wouldn't be talking. Somebody like 𝐒𝐶𝐃 should be behind bar. I could remember vividly on a over 400 billion allegation that he had to shade this current governor of Rivers State from arrest. Amaechi too came out to say that, oh, he does not have houses, he does not like money, he does not have a car, somebody dash him a Rolls Royce. Is he now saying that all his stewardship as public servant, even without stealing, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, assuming without considering, without stealing, having spent 26 years, having spent 24 years, in public office, does it mean that his salary and allowances cannot get him a befitting house? Meanwhile, these guys lived in the choices of the estate around us. So they are just deceiving Nigerians. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians are always at the receiving end. So it's politicking, let them play their politics. Anybody that claims to have a clean slate, I do not know who give them clean slate. That's my issue. Somebody 𝐒𝐶𝐃 will come out and say, I'm not corrupt. Amaechi will come out and say, I'm not corrupt. The other person will come out and say, I'm not corrupt. So who were the people stealing our money in Nigeria? Why are we now talking about corruption if these guys are not corrupt? Why are we talking about corruption? The money that is supposed to be meant for the people, they will siphon it. Yet, we have seen a thief that come and say, I am a thief. It's not possible, but we know these guys. We have their dossier, we have their resume. So it's going to be particularly interesting in the build-up to 2027. We are going to be seeing more of this. But all this clean slate, I'm not corrupt, I don't like money, they are only deceiving us because we know these guys.
All right, Austin, court directs Senate to recall Senator Natasha. And somewhere before that, earlier before that judgment, court also fined Senator Natasha for contempt and saying that she must pay 5 million naira and also write an apology for a satirical apology she wrote on her Facebook page, showing how much more she detests what the National Assembly under the leadership of Akpabio did to her. And she published a satirical apology on her Facebook page. The court actually found that as a sort of a contempt against his charge for her not to publish anything relating to the case until the matter is determined. But now the court also went ahead to say, recall her, let her get back to her seat. Now, we know we have a country that always flouts the orders of the court. In this case of Natasha, we know of Ninge as well. What do we say, Austin, here?
Yeah, I think it's It's a good one. I always like a situation where our laws are tested. Instead of making noise, go to the court, seek for a redress. In my view, this is a very fair judgment. It's a very good judgment that has dealt with the subject matter, in my view, personal opinion, objectively and fairly to a large extent. The crux of the matter and the element of the judgment goes as follows. The court ruled yesterday that the Senate has the right to reassign seats, that it is within their right to reassign seats under the prerogative of the Senate President. That is number one. Number two, that you cannot speak from a seat that is not officially allocated to you. That is another Senate rule. Then the third point from the judgment is that the Senate, the suspension and the punishment meted out to Senator 𝐾𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐑 was unjustifiable and disproportionate. The judge described it as excessive. You know, when something is disproportionate, you understand, which means that it lacks fairness. Look at it, the first point, the judge said that the Senate as an institution has the right to discipline their member, but disproportionate in such a manner that 6 months is too long a time. You know, we have always argued this, because if you suspend a lawmaker for a period of 6 months, impliedly, lawmakers are supposed to sit for 180 days in a year. That is 6 months. So any lawmaker that is suspended for 6 months, which means that the constituency and the people of our area, his or our area, will be denied representation for almost 1 calendar year.
But Austin, shouldn't Austin to butt in, shouldn't the National Assembly save itself from this kind of national embarrassment that the court has to call it to charge here or order to say that that is excessive? You don't have such powers. Shouldn't they have known that they don't have such powers to slam 6 months suspension on any member of the National Assembly itself?
See, GBOLABO, in as much as lawmakers who are supposed to be honorable decide to go against the rule of the Senate or the National Assembly or any assembly for that matter, there will continue to be suspension. What the court is saying here is not that you not discipline, but denying a whole people representation for a period of 6 months. I wish this case will get to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has ruled severally on this matter. Akpabio is not the first Senate president, and Natasha will not be the first, is not also the first senator to be suspended. The case is that let Supreme Court give us a definite timeline. If you say that the National Assembly can discipline their member who go against their rule, for how long? That is what we want to know. Because as far as I'm also concerned, the content of the judgment we still need further clarity. You say that they have the power to suspend, they have the power to allocate seats. No, the court didn't say that they have the power to suspend. They said they have the power to discipline. Suspension is also a form of discipline and punishment. I hope you get it right.
All right.
Now, how long should that be? That is the issue. I think once and for all, the Supreme Court will give finality on this judgment. If you want to tell us that they don't have right to suspend, they don't have right to discipline, tell us they don't have right to discipline. If you say that, they have right to discipline, tell us how long by which they can be disciplined without necessarily robbing the people of adequate representation. So that is what has come out today. A fine was also awarded against Natasha, because when this matter started, the court gave a ruling that the issue should not be further polarized or publicized on conventional and social media again. And we knew that after that, Natasha was going from one radio station, one media house to the other to talk about this issue. The court saw that as a contempt of court. So they said she must publish apology to the Senate in 2 national dailies and on our various social media platforms that she used to propagate that. So to a large extent, I think the judge did fantastically well, but we still need some element of clarity as far as this is concerned. Before I leave the case, let us know that this is not the case of sexual harassment. This is the case that border on a suspension and infringement on our fundamental human rights. The case of sexual harassment is still in the cooler. We are still waiting. I think this is about the 5th month of her suspension. We are still waiting. Maybe she's planning to give evidence as far as that is concerned when they recall her or what have you. So that is my summation.
All right, State. Nigerian fighting for Russia captured by Ukraine allied forces. And this is a huge one. Now, this is going to challenge our international policies, especially our foreign affairs policy here. He's a 29-year-old and his name is 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐄𝐍𝐂. Now, if you look at this instance, this is Nigerians who are desperate to leave the shores of the country, because I do remember then that there was actually free entry into Ukraine for any Nigerians that are willing to fight the war. And many people took the swipe because they felt that that could be a purposeful living life for them, getting citizenship of Ukraine and fighting for the country. But as it is now, Austin, where does this young man stand? Is he still a Nigerian? Can Nigeria as a country fight for him? Because obviously he would have gotten a stay and somehow gotten the citizenship of Ukraine since he came out to say he's going to fight for the country. Where do we stand here? Because we also have war back at home. The Boko Haram war is there, and we're still fighting that. But he decided to fight an international war. Where does it stand? Where is his fate here?
GBOLABO, his fate will be decided according to those who capture him. That is also part of the consequences or the tenet of his engagement. This has nothing to do with international relation or international politics. Somebody traveled from Nigeria to Ghana, for example. He decided to be a policeman in Ghana, for example, and he was discharging his duty. He fell into the hands of the enemy. How does that affect us as Nigerians? He's a Nigerian. He's doing his means of livelihood. He's just carrying out his normal work, his normal business. Now, perhaps luck ran out of him or what have you. That is his business. If there is work in Nigeria or there is war in Nigeria, you can't force him that, he must come and fight the war in Nigeria. The war in Nigeria, we have soldiers in Nigeria. We have those that are fighting the war. We have a government that has the duty to protect the people. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no issue.
And so where is the citizenship, Austin? Are we saying that we're going to forget the fact that this is a Nigerian? He's first of all a Nigerian before any other thing. Are we going to forget that?
GBOLABO, was it because he's captured? Are there no Nigerians who serve in the military in the US? Are there no Nigerians who serve in military in Canada, in the UK? Are there no Nigerians who are working elsewhere across the globe? Or is it because he was captured? Somebody, a Nigerian doctor is almost being convicted in the US now for COVID-19 fraud. Are you going to say that it's no longer in Nigeria? A particular traditional ruler is convicted in the UK or in the US for fraud. Are you saying that it's not in Nigeria? As far as I'm concerned, these are no issue. He left the country. He decided to choose his means of livelihood, choose his endeavor, and it is what it is. If before you join any fight, before you join any military or paramilitary organization, there are code of conduct, there are rules. So the law ran against him. If he was probably killed, maybe nobody would have heard about him, maybe because he was captured or something. So as far as I'm concerned, that happened in the line of his business. The question you want me to answer is whether it's
Does it speak well about the attitude to national development itself? If Al-Makura is saying he's going to clean tables to become APC national chairman here.
No, what Al-Makura said was this. He was being interviewed. There is speculation that most likely he may be made the APC chairman to satisfy or placate the CPC bloc within the APC. Don't forget, in 2022, he contested as APC national chairman. I hope you have not forgotten.
Right.
So because of consensus, he withdrew. So they now posed it to him that is he still ready to become APC national chairman? He said yes. He said if the president wants him, he's ready to serve. That if the president wants him to be coming to his office to be cleaning the table every Monday, that he will gladly do that. He will go to the president's office, clean the table. After cleaning the table, and go back home. That whatever the president wants him to do, he will do. So when I read it, I was now thinking, what if the president asked him to dip his hand into the fire. I was now wondering, what if the president wants him to dip his hand into the fire? This is the level of sycophancy that we talked about. It's a high level of sycophancy. The president was a two-time former governor. Amakura too was a two-time former governor. The president was a former senator. Amakura too was a former senator. The only thing that Amakura has not become, as far as today is concerned, is that he has not become the president of Nigeria. How could you descend so low? In my view, diplomatically, they ask you, do you want to be APC chairman? You say, yes, if the president wants me, or if my party wants me, I will be. Did he put gun to your head? Why will you descend so low to say that, oh, even if the president wants me to come and be cleaning his table, does it mean that Amakura is now ready to become a cleaner or an office assistant to Mr. President? I don't get it. These are what people do to get into office. These are what people do to get into power. So the point I'm making is that particular question, that particular narrative, that particular logic was completely unnecessary. As I'm talking to you now, GBOLABO, as you are seated there, if you are offered political appointment, you will weigh it. If you favor, you have to us. We have some of our guys that were doing this job together. Now they are political appointees to various governments across the country. I don't know whether you get the point I'm making.
Right.
But that does not mean that it's a national service. You can be called at the state to come and work. Anywhere you are called, you can go there to work. But to now descend so low to say that, oh, even if the president wants me to come and be washing plate in his house, I will do that. A two-time former governor, a former senator, somebody that some people are looking up to. It's quite unfortunate. That is the pedestrian level of politics that we play in Nigeria. And it's not peculiar to Amakura alone. There was a time in the history of Nigeria that the Senate president said, whatever the president desires, whatever the president wants is good for the country. That whatever the president wants, if the president sleep and fall down from his bed, that is good for the country. It's unfortunately so.
All right, Austin, after years of suspension, Nigerian banks resume international transactions on Naira cards. Now, some of the banks, the money deposit banks, are saying that they are back to international transactions on debit cards. Now, what does that stand to be of? Will it be of any benefit for us as a country? Because even if you look at the level of import duties coming into the country and investment opportunities, I think there are capital flights. Many people are scared, especially expatriates coming to site their businesses in Nigeria. And now many chose other African countries where there is no incidences of massive kidnapping going on and banditry like we have it here in Nigeria. Now, what would we say these transactions by these money deposit banks will bring for the country in terms of international investment, or what do we get out of this recent development by the bank, Austin?
Yeah, GBOLABO, I think you are almost missing the storyline.
Okay.
The truth is that 3 years ago, some of these banks, there's what we call Naira card. Naira card for those that are traveling. Those who don't have the opportunity to move around the world, they may not understand the concept of this initiative.
Okay.
So it has always been that when you travel out of the country or before you travel, there is what we call the Naira card. You go to your bank, you load it. You can use it to travel out of the country. You can use it around the world. Now, 3 years ago, some banks suspended that. They opted out. Why? Because of the volatility in the forex markets and instability within our market, foreign exchange economy. Now, those banks, about 2 of them are saying that, oh, we are going to resume that operation. It's a service of the bank to customer. Those who do not fall within that category may not understand. The implication is that, for example, if you travel out of the country, you get to the airport, for example, you are transiting, you are making a connecting flight, or you are stopping over, you cannot perform any transaction. I don't want to mention some places until and unless you change to that particular local currency. If you want to buy a bottle of water, do you get me?
I understand what you're saying, Austin. Even at that, do you think many people would even opt for that with what is happening in Nigeria presently? Because if you even talk about international transactions, who are those who are even holding our debit card? That's the question. How many people are traveling, wanting to spend using Nigeria debit card as it is presently. I'm talking about investment opportunities for even people who want to even travel within and outside Nigeria itself.
GBOLABO, there is no investment opportunity as far as this is concerned. This is just like ATM card. What is the investment opportunity in having a bank ATM card? It's for me to be able to spend my money. But the concept of this is that before it is internationally accepted, my Naira card is internationally accepted. So if I get into Heathrow Airport, for example, I want to buy a bottle of water, I can still use my Naira card to pay. But the way it is today is that if I get to Heathrow, I cannot be able to do transaction until I'm able to change to the currency. I'm able to convert maybe the dollar I'm holding to a British pound before I can be able to do transaction. A lot of people have been stranded as a result of what I'm telling you now. Not as if they don't have money, not as if they don't even have dollar or the currency of other country. They will have to first of all change. Between the time they will change, this opportunity avail Nigeria that are traveling before to be able to have access to their resources and be able to spend. For example, if I get to any airport across the country, and maybe US, for example, they are spending dollar and I need to buy a bottle of water for $1.5, for example, if I need to do that, I can use my card to pay and it will charge based on the available and the current exchange rate. So it's not as if it's going to bring investment to Nigeria. It's just my ATM card. What it's now doing for me is that since it's a Naira card, I can load it, I take it outside the country, I can be able to use it for transaction, petty transaction, if I so desire.
So there's no benefit
based on the rate.
There's no benefit for the country.
We should not make it look as if it's going to bring. It should not make it. What is the economic value of holding ATM card in Nigeria? Let's look at it from that angle. It's not as if it's going to bring international investment or it's going to bring foreign direct investment. Bank just sent message to their people and said that the service we suspended 3 years ago, we are going to resume it for you now. And the bank customer, those who are willing to do it, those who have business to do with it, should do business with it. That is none of anybody's business.
All right, we'll go on this break, and when we do come back, we'll be having more on the Break It On Papers review. Please do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí ń bẹ nílùú òyìnbó sọ pé àwọn máa ń ra electronics wọ́n sì máa sanwó ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí wọ́n ti ń gbowó lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n ní nàìjíríà wa yìí ó máa gba 20,000 naira wọ́n sì máa retí pé kó kó 500,000 naira wà lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà láti fi ra nǹkan bó bá fẹ́ ra tv náà ó máa tówó jọ bí ẹni dọ́jọ́ ìgbéyàwó sọ́nà.
àlàyé farabalẹ̀ ṣé o tí gbọ́ nípa CDK ni.
ó dé o CDK kí ni.
níbẹ̀ lèmi ti ra fóònù ọwọ́ mi tó ń wò yìí fìríìjì washing machine home theatre tí mo sì ń sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀ kódà kò ní owó èlé kankan iye tán sì ń ta lọ́jà gan-an onímúra.
irọ́ o ṣé lóòótọ́ wọn ò fowó kankan kún kẹ̀.
ọ̀rẹ́ wa n ò fowó kankan kún kódà gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mo rà lọ́dọ̀ wọn ni wọ́n ti gbé fún mi tí ì sì tí ì sanwó mi tán tí mò ń sanwó mi díẹ̀díẹ̀. ọ̀rẹ́ wa kí ló dé tó ń yọra rẹ lẹ́nu ǹjẹ́ ló mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú CDK o lè ra àwọn nǹkan èlò inú ilé tó sì máa sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀.
download CDK báyìí lórí Google Play Store tàbí App Store.
CDK, making life easier.
Ibadan, are you ready for a delicious celebration of culture?
Let's try this. Ibadan, are you ready for a mouth-watering time with the city's favorite dish?
Hey, Ibadan, 32 FM Amala Fest is here. Join over 1,000 people under one canopy, savoring hot abula prepared by your favorite vendors. Enjoy sweet music, hilarious comedy, and a serene atmosphere.
Get ready for exciting Amala competitions, including smoothest Amala preparation, fastest hot Amala eaters, most wraps of Amala eating. There are many gifts to be won.
Mark your calendars. Date, Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. Time, 2 p.m. Venue, Recreation Club Open Field, Sabo area, Adamasiba, Ibadan. Ticket, 2,000 naira only. Includes a hot plate of amala, drinks, and more.
Grab your tickets and participation forms at 32FM 4th floor Cocoa House, Dugbe, Ibadan. BB Ray Canteen, Okeado, 𝐒𝐻𝐿 Food Canteen, Ijokodo, Adanla, Baremu, Ibadan. Call Binkpe on 0806 218 5194. Captain P2 0802 258 8193.
Amala Festival is proudly sponsored by Regal Dry Gin, Terra Seasoning Cube, and partnered by BB Ray and 𝐒𝐻𝐿. Don't miss it.
Jẹ́ 20,000 naira lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú Coco Box àti 32 FM. Ìkànnì 32 FM 94.9 pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ Coco Box ní ó fi àǹfààní 20,000 naira fún wa láti máa jẹ lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú 500 naira. Bó o lẹ́ẹ̀tì ṣe jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ẹ lọ tẹ *347*253# lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ yín èyíkéyìí nẹ́tíwọ̀kì tẹ́ bá ń lò ẹ fi iye ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ta sí. Wọ́n send account number tẹ́ ẹ lè lò lẹ́ẹ̀kan péré sí yín. Ẹ sanwó pẹ̀lú backup yín USSD àbí kẹ́ ẹ ṣàbẹ̀wò sí POS tó súnmọ́dọ̀ yín yẹn pẹ̀lú account number tó ti wà lọ́wọ́ yín. Èyí ṣe pàtàkì ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ péré ni account number ń fi lè ṣiṣẹ́ ó sì wà fẹ́yìí tẹ́ ẹ ta yẹn nìkan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kọ̀ láti sanwó sórí account number wọn yóò ṣàdínàgbò òkú fún yín látún ti ta lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ti ṣe ta tó pọ̀ sí ni àǹfààní ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ fún yín láti jẹ. Aago 9 àbọ̀ lówùrọ̀, aago 2 ọ̀sán, aago 3 àtàago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ látọjọ́ ajé Monday sọ́jọ́ ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ náà máa yí koto. Ní gbogbo ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ èèyàn 22 ni yóò mọ gbógun ẹgbẹ̀rún 20,000 naira. Èèyàn 8 ni yóò mọ gbógun ẹgbẹ̀rún lójoojúmọ́. Èèyàn 3 ni yóò mọ gbọ́gọ́rùn ẹgbẹ̀rún 100,000 naira lọ́jọ́ ẹtì ọjọ́ Jímọ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí kẹ́tẹ̀ *347*253# kẹ́ẹ̀fì 500 naira péré gbàgbẹ́mù lórí Coco Box. Coco Box àti 32 FM ó ti pọ̀ jù.
When you chop better breakfast with the new Peak Dairy Creamer, your belle go full. Full belle means say morning waka go well. When morning waka go well, it means say your day go good.
Oga, this new Peak Dairy Creamer, now the same with Peak Full Cream?
No, Peak Dairy Creamer na from skimmed milk for tea and coffee only. While the Peak Full Cream milk na ogbonge milk from cow's whole milk.
Taste breakfast goodness with the new Peak Dairy Creamer at 130 naira only.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, you're welcome back to Break It On Papers Review here on your Laughter Dial 32 FM 94.9. Before we quickly pick those calls, Austin, I want us to quickly touch on this one too. NIPO's warns against unlicensed courier operators conveying firearms, illicit drugs. Now, how do they check this, Austin? How easy will this be for them? Because in Nigeria, when you talk about illicit operations, sometimes the operatives in terms of monitoring could be like a dire straight situation. What do we say, Austin?
Yeah, I think for monitoring, let's strengthen our existing framework, and governments also need to look at how to regulate the system. Of course, it's going to be challenging. It's most time going to be difficult because there will definitely be people that will bypass the law and make themselves unregulated. But government can continue to come up with initiatives, maybe through task force and what have you. It's difficult anyway, but it's something that is achievable.
All right, the numbers are 070-55,949 or 080-97,949 plus 234-90-62,949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone in the studio. John Lariwaji speaking from Agbo. On the issue of Wike and Amica, I don't have much to say. I just playing the politics. So, I don't know whether they will tell Nigeria that nothing is free from the corruption. It's because the EFCC have yet to even make attempt against any one of them. So I don't want to spend my time on them. And therefore, the Natasha and the Senate President, my own concern is this. I think the judge has done a good thing concerning the case. But my own concern is about the sexual harassment. I don't think that one is even involved in that judgment. Because if it's involved, whether it's part of the apology that the judge told the Natasha to go and make on the famous newspaper and their Facebook page. But I think we're supposed to know whether truly the allegation is true or not. So to me, I'm still concerned about it. And therefore, the issue of Al-Makura, as far as I'm concerned, even if the Mr. President does not want to be an emperor or a dictator or Alpha and Omega, so the person like Al-Makura can make him to be like that. So I don't understand the kind of person the Al-Makura is and how desperate he is to get just a chairman of a party in which he can leave at any time. They can told him to just resign like he did. So to me, the politicians to me, they are not even qualified to be any position in Nigeria. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you so much, John Olaruwaju. The numbers again are 070-550-949 or 080-97949 plus 234-9062-949. We're also live on Facebook. That's 32FM 949 Fanya with double A's. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, GBOLABO.
Good morning, sir.
Say good morning to us too. My name is Ade from UI. I want to briefly comment on the Amaechi versus Wike. I listened to Wike, so I don't normally listen to him, but I managed to listen to some of his words yesterday. He was saying Amaechi didn't make him. He didn't make at a point he was saying the Mama Peace, who even took him to beg for ministerial appointment, that he was the one that helped them, that they didn't help him. So such a character, I don't understand why he should occupy public office. You see, there should be decency. Somebody was asking us yesterday on the platform that we don't even know who is the Minister of Information. Wike is doing everything. I said, has Wike not taken the position of Minister of Information? And even the President? Because I don't even know who is the President now, or who is the Information Minister now, without other than Wike. At a point, he said, they said your children have taken over several land in Abuja. He said, my children not Nigerians. Can you see character like that? And Augustine now said the President is enjoying that kind of uncivilized or immature and indecent person to occupy public office. If it was Obasanjo Day, Obasanjo would have fired him. Because like I say, GBOLABO, go and mark my word, this man is going to create a lot of self-party vote in favor of the person contesting for the president. That if the president is going to lose by 50%, Muke will contribute like 40% out of it. It's not decent to be a public officer. That's the best of today.
All right, thank you so much, Ade from UI. All right, on Facebook, we do also have some comments here. Kintoye Gunshina says Austin should know that Nigerians are forced into the war. Talking about the war in Ukraine here. Okay, we also have him saying CBN was the one that stopped the Naira card for international use. Then that must have a domiciliary card because of Forex, okay? We have Oluwaseun Road says, good morning to you too. The political elites forming coalition against the APC administration is a good one, but my concern is that they are not just doing this for their selfish interest, because what the masses want from them is to deliver us from this hardship. All right, Tolokwe Adiyemi also on Facebook says, good morning to you as well. And he says those behind this coalition needs to stay alert and be more watchful so as not to allow any division between them. All right, we also have Oluwatefe, and he wrote, that's also on Facebook, if a coalition can bring relief to Nigerians from APC's maladministration, then opposition parties should continue to collaborate and strive towards a shared objective, delivering Nigerians from hardship and suffering. All right, Ekune Christiana, good morning to you too. And Honorable Akinkunmi Camille Dakola says, any politician that joined the structure of criminality he has once criticized is now what? Coalition of confusion. All right, we take this one. Our time is actually fast spent, but we'll take this one. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, GBOLABO.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Tony Brown. Good morning, Austin. Well done to both of you. Tony Brown here. Now, Bonabo, I'm still wondering. Whether Wike is a spokesperson for, I'm saying it again, for APC. Why should people be so, I don't want to read the word this morning because it's too early. Why will you be in PD? You are destroying PDP and you are working for APC. And I don't know what that man had in a PDP. The last time I checked, he's not one of the founding members of PDP. And he's there contesting, asking insulting those who their coalition, they are going to meet them. You are going to meet us. Is it I don't let that man be removed from PDP. Let us even see what will happen. Is it that he is the one that has PDP, or he has the account of PDP, that PDP find it difficult to ostracize that man from PDP? Because he's destroying the image of the party now. You are there, campaigning now that that these people will meet you there on the field, and that you are telling the APC, people who are even members of the APC cannot speak anymore, and the people who decide to leave and say they want to fight. What's your problem? Why are you attacking them as if you are the only minister in Nigeria? That guy will destroy. Look, the route to 2027 with Tinubu. If President Tinubu is not careful, Mike will put him in trouble. He will destroy the chances. I'm serious. Thank you very much.
All right, Ian Brown. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning. All right.
It will destroy the chances.
All right, thank you.
Because I've never seen a human being like this.
All right, thank you so much, Ian Brown, for that. Austin, we have to leave the studios. Yes, we have to leave the studios right about now. But what are your last shot, Austin, especially looking at some of the commentaries here? Like we have this on Facebook that people are forced into the war in Ukraine, not on their volition. Austin, what do we say as we leave the studios? All right, Austin, do we still have you? Okay, I guess the itches here, technical itches will not make us have Austin back. Virtually is doing this with us virtually, and our time is actually fast spent on the program this morning. That's the much we can take on the Break It On People's Review. Thank you